Amu, what's up? Thank you so much for sending me your deck. I'm going to give you some feedback on it and tell you what I think of sentiment and what I think about your pitch for it. Now, obviously, it would be more fun if you'd actually been able to pitch me. I'm just going on the deck, so I won't have all your enthusiasm. So first of all, I just want to say the idea of sentiment, of taking social sentiment off the internet and using it to trade, I think it's a great idea. It's something that people have been trying to do for a while. So one of the things that I immediately start to think about when I look at your deck, and I look at the title slide. Remember, title slide is a key. I see sentiment, stock, social media data for trading strategies, algorithms, and products. There's a couple things that happen here for me. First of all, I think, oh man, there's a bunch of companies doing it. What's different here? The other thing I think about is this is a lot, right? Stock, social media data. First of all, it's a weird sentence construction. For trading strategies, algorithms, and products. What kind of products? Trading products? I'm not sure what a trading product is necessarily. So I'm already a little bit confused about exactly what you're doing and how. But let's get into it and see what else you have here. So we go into your problem. Social media activity and sentiment is moving markets, but high quality data is extremely difficult to source. So social media activity and sentiment are moving markets. Small grammatical tweak there. And then you say, but high quality data is extremely difficult to source. I think you need to be more specific about this because there are pretty big companies out there that are selling sentiment analysis on social media because it's known that these things move markets. So I want to know how you know it's difficult to source. What have you done? What else is out there? Why isn't it good enough? The way most of this deck is presented, the way the pitch comes through, is as if you exist in a vacuum, that you were the first ones to think about this. But that's not true. So, what are you doing differently that no one else is doing that makes this awesome? Remember that investors aren't just investing in an idea. They're investing in an idea and a team relative to the other things in which they could invest. So then we have, problem one, skills, highly specific programming skills. Two, time, building data, retrieving infrastructure of necessary quality takes months to build. Cost, cloud computing is very expensive initially due to fixed costs. So again, because I don't necessarily know who your customer is, I don't know how big these problems are. If I think big fancy hedge funds have skills, time, and the money to spend. So I want to know why this is actually so hard. And my sense is that the real challenge is about the architecture of the system you need to properly and very, very quickly analyze sentiment. When you come to the solution, you have a comprehensive set of social media analysis metrics powered by web scraping and AI, available through an API for developers, and then you have a bunch of random bits of code. So the first thing I'll say, and maybe this is a little bit biased by my experience working on Wall Street for a while, is that the thing that I think of as most important here is actually speed. Yes, you have to do this right, but you also have to do it fast. And when I hear web scraping and then an API, I don't think that this is going to be fast enough to catch the market moves. Right, and this is crazy. You can say, oh, Wall Street Bets, moves markets and stuff. You could scan the sentiment there. You could do it. But if you're going to sell software to do that, the trick is being faster than the other, quant traders out there, which means you got to be fast. And web scraping isn't fast enough. I'm blanking on the company that had, access to the Twitter fire hose and stuff like that, did sentiment analysis and sold it. But there are people, you need not just web scraping. You need to go way faster than that. So here's what we do. We scrape comments from social media platforms. 2, we analyze them using proprietary NLP to generate consensus metrics for stocks. And 3, we direct this data to our clients via our API to be displayed on their sites or implemented into their trading algorithms. So what you're doing here is you're maybe doing too many things at once. You got to pick a customer. Are you selling this as a trading signal to hedge funds, or are you selling it to people who want to display some kind of thing on a website? Those are radically different customers, and you got to pick who it is you want to go for. Then when we get to traction, you say 5 businesses paying for our API, 13 individuals, and 1,100 registered users. But then, if I look at this little asterisk down here, let's look at it. Boom, asterisk, we introduced paid plans. How much money are you making? You said that. But you said people are paying. The only thing I want to know at this point is how much money are you making and whether or not you have growth. right? This is like a classic thing where people want to show their revenue, show their attraction, but they want to show it as a fixed point in time. But investors don't invest in fixed points in time. They invest in the future, right? And to get a sense of what the future is going to be, they have to see a path. They want to invest in like a curve, an upward trajectory. This is why that hockey stick thing is so famous. So then when it comes to progress, you have, okay, born in January 21, you iterated, in March you expanded, in April you pivoted your segment, and in May you were invited to interview at Y Combinator. Awesome, congrats on getting that invite, but what I read there is you didn't get accepted. And people will not be super impressed by invited and not accepted. I know you got an email that said like, hey, you're one of the top whatever, you got invited, but a lot of people get invited to interview. The key is getting in, not just getting invited. And then you launch your paid plans. Your market thing, it's kind of a little too fine. I don't love top-down markets here. I like bottom-up. Show how many hedge funds you're going to sell to, who you're going to sell to, what the licensing costs look like, based on what you're going to charge per API call, how much money could you make. That's a little more interesting. Again, a market slide is to show how you think rather than show a final number. All right, it's really a thinking test more than it is a sizing test. So then you have a why now slide. It's a classic slide. You say growth of social media discussion, demand for more accessible investing tools, and growth in the use of code to make trades. You know, these things are all valid, but they don't really say why you. So why nows are okay, but why now, the best why nows are very personal to the company. They show why your company is the one that's going to succeed where others are going to fail. You know, the business model makes sense, competitive edge I get, but when I get to who you guys are, I see super smart people with no experience in markets, no experience trading. So now I start to think, why does this team think that they can build good trading signals? Or why do they think they can build things that traders want? You see how important that is? You have to understand your customer. And unless you do, I'm not going to buy that you're the ones who are going to be able to sell it. You guys look super smart. I bet you could do fascinatingly interesting things. But you got to make sure that you can sort of pitch that well in a way that people will believe. And then you talk about your ask. You need a bunch of data. You want to build some stuff. You want to sell. Finally, there's sentiment. So a lot of really good stuff in here. You're clearly a really smart team. This is an interesting idea, but you need to do some more work thinking about what else is out there that's done similar things and why you're better. I hope this was helpful. Feel free to send me the next version of it once you build it. Good luck.